Hello, welcome to November 25th, 2022. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation video. This is something that I do every morning just after waking up. It's 4:30 a.m., spot on right now. I do this in order to remember my life objectives and principles and to see how I did applying these to the challenges and opportunities I managed to meet, overcome, or be trampled under by yesterday, and to plan for the coming day. Let's begin. And good morning, Parker, and happy birthday, Emily. First, yesterday and last night. Slept really good last night. Lights out at around 9. I was in bed by 9. Eyes were gone. I was asleep instantly. I mean, I don't even think my head hit the pillow. And then I woke up at 4 a.m. Just as the alarm went off. I just got up once to, use the facilities, as old men do. But otherwise, just good, sound night's sleep. I feel good, and it was a stress-free day, so I feel extra good as a result. So maybe that's kind of hearkening to hopefully what retirement will feel like when I can enjoy the days to myself. Every day, less stress, and but I'll still be getting up at 4 a.m. It'll be a bit tough when it's cold, though. Living in an old house. Yesterday was just a bowl full of fun. I don't get to describe days like that very often, but it was up early. Did all this stuff. It was Thanksgiving Day here in the United States, celebrating that holiday. Went shopping with the family, had lunch out with the family, then came back, and William Miko and Emily were preparing for our evening Thanksgiving feast. I went to the beach. I invited them to come with me, but they didn't want to come, and I literally spent the whole afternoon at the beach, just plunked down on the sand, wearing my shorts, jumping in the water. The wind was blowing, watching the surfers. I sat for just a long time, just staring out at the sea, and it really was just bliss. Just so grateful to be back. I think those experiences are enhanced by having lost it, right? Because I lived on the beach for years when I was in my 20s in college, and I didn't appreciate it as much as I did yesterday, having left the beach for a year. It's good to be separated from what we love, to cause us to appreciate it more. That's how I am with my job, for example. I really do appreciate my job, especially after going away from it for a while. And it doesn't seem to be wearing off. I think it's almost annoying to my coworkers how glad I am to be there, even when it's hard, even when it's stressful, even when things are going bad. I'm glad to be there, and I'm grateful, and I let them all know it. Like I said, I think I'm getting to be annoying. Why does this guy seem to talk so much about liking his job, and he also talks so much about retiring? Well, the retirement thing is because it's a continuation of my work. I have a mission, right? My mission is the sharing of the story of going alone and the resulting good life creed. I have a purpose, and that purpose is best facilitated but through retirement. As much good as I can get done with my job, because I'm a public servant, so I do get a lot of genuine good done for the community at large. I think I can do better, and I can make better use of my time, focusing on the mission of sharing the story of going alone and the good life creed. So with that, let's get into it. And I think I'll go quickly because I did get a battery warning that I'm almost out of charge. One more sip, though. There we go. Okay, my 7 objectives as follows. Number 1 is to be always ready to die, to have my affairs, my relationships, and my life's work in order. Number 2 is to make good and effective use of my time, to get up early, to squeeze good purpose and endeavor out of every day. and to not let any one day pass in vain. 3 is to develop and maintain good and sound life principles. That's the Good Life Creed, these 7 objectives and 32 principles. And I do that every day by reciting them every day, thinking about them. And it's not just during this video. I think about them through the day as I'm encountering challenges and opportunity. 4 is to cultivate good emotional reactions, just to react well to the tricky bits. The easy bits are easy to react to. It's the hard stuff that takes work. Next is number 5 is to perform good actions, just to do good things throughout the day. Number 6 is to recognize true limits and true opportunities, so I can operate effectively within my means and within the bounds of the scope of my control, my reach, and within the bounds of prudence. Doing things in alignment and within this, again, to use that word, scope of not only my capacity but also my values. Next is to recognize true limits. That's what I said. And then the last one is to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. To not multitask. It's really tricky to do that one at work. But I'm very careful about that. I only multitask if I absolutely have to. Does that mean that there's moments where I'm kind of quietly waiting for a task to complete? Yes. That gives me an opportunity to exercise temperance, self-control, discipline, patience, peace. Exercise peace. I guess it can. Is peace more of an emergent quality of a consequence? Yeah, I guess that is more of that. But can you exercise peace? I think you gain peace. Okay, now my 32. Those are my 7 objectives. Time for another sip. Then we'll do the 32 principles. Number 1 is to be always ready to die. No, that's an objective. Number 1 is war. To always be fighting against what I think is true and what others propose to me is true. 2, reason and the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, doubt, and humiliation. That's the approach I take in life in terms of identifying what is true, what it's not that I say it's absolutely true, it's that I identify that is what is most likely true, and then build operational models of living around that, so that I'm executing my days in accordance to the things which I hold to be true. That's a better way to say it. The sub-principles there, as I think I said, are, maybe I didn't, are no, I didn't get to it. It was the next principle. Well, maybe now I'm messed up. War, and then reason, and the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, doubt, and humiliation. There you go. War is the thing that I do. Reason is the instrument by which I do it. And I'm a reasonable human being when I'm being honest. And I'm looking at things objectively. I'm being a skeptic, not onboarding things too readily or easily or without due regard to a means to believe. And then also be more than happy to welcome the humiliation of discovering that I'm wrong. Although with enough practice, it doesn't become humiliation. It transforms into gratitude, I think. Next is it's a twofer. The homunculus and the anchor hold. I don't think we have a soul. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the afterlife or heaven or hell. So all we have is this thing, our body, and then this consciousness that seems to emerge from the electrobiochemistry of our apparatus and our nervous system. And this homunculus is quite frail, subject to die quickly and be gone forever. That's the mission. That's the purpose of those two principles: the homunculus and the anchor hold. The anchor hold is this frail structure, my body, that contains my homunculus. Likewise for you. I kind of muddied that one up. Next is reason, homunculus, anchor hold, purpose. My purpi in life are three. One is to be a good husband and father. Two is to be a virtuous man, where virtue is defined as working for the improvement of the well-being of thinking creatures, removing suffering and improving peace and happiness by way of virtue, by way of well, yeah. What if someone's happy to be a sadist? No, that won't do it, because you're compromising the well-being of others in the process. So you can't do it. So I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any. I don't see any hole in that. Pursuing the well-being of thinking creatures yields peace and happiness. But you're not pursuing the well-being of thinking creatures if you're satisfying a desire or an interest that compromises the well-being of others. So, yeah, I think it's safe. And then the last bit of that is, the last bit of purpose is, the purpose of your personal purpose in life. My personal purpose in life is to share the story of my book, Going Alone, available at Amazon. You can also get it at your local bookstore if you simply ask. I'll get it in stock, and you can get it that way too. Or you can go to my website. I've decided to begin selling the books on my website again. So goingalone.org. Am I really ready for that? Yeah, I think I am. It's a lot of work. All right. Atomic principle. Everything is made of bits and pieces. Principle of nature. Everything has some particular nature. The pirate ride. Free will is an illusion. Maturity. And the sub-principles of wisdom, fortitude, and prudence. Is that right? Integrity. That's it. Wisdom, fortitude, and integrity. Social principle. And the sub-principles of diplomacy, justice, conspiracy. We are diplomatically working with one another towards the aim of justice, and then linking arms to conspire together to make that happen. That's the idea of the principle of social principle. It's also a principle that suggests it's important that we not live our lives alone. So funny that a book called Going Alone, its mission is to not be alone. In fact, the opening bit of art in there is God looking at Adam all alone in the Garden of Eden and saying, it's a quote from Genesis, it is not good that man should be alone. It's not good. At least not all the time. It's good to go alone once in a while, though. Very good. Okay, what's next? What's next? Oh, public speaking. It's good to learn to be able to speak well. And the sub-principles there are best words, prudence, eloquence, and then the negatives are rumor and gossip. So try to develop a good vocabulary and be able to pick the best words out when communicating. Exercise prudence, filter what we're saying and writing and typing through our values. Excuse me. Eloquence comes from practice. That's one of the reasons I recommend talking at the camera. It's good, it's helpful, especially if you know you're going to upload it. It forces you to do a good job. And don't engage in rumor or gossip. There you go. Okay, next comes distraction and agency and the great indifference. If there's no God, but a lot of us don't want to see that, so we distract ourselves with life, work, and our hobbies, politics, church, social life, everything, so we don't have to see that we're alone. It works. La 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 la. You can go all the way to death that way. I'd rather not. I'd rather see, discover, that God doesn't exist. And then do something with that, productive and worthwhile, virtuous. It's a very worthwhile endeavor. Though it might wind me in hell. I don't think so. I don't think that exists. Don't worry about it for a moment. Let's see. Okay, so that was agency, the great distraction, and agency and the great indifference. Oh, it's a 5er. I better go quickly. I'm going to run out of battery. The 5er is temperance. Life will not go well. The horror show. That which must be borne, and the feast of woeful. Taken together, we have to exercise our self-control so that we can get through the tough bits of life, even the horrifying bits. So that we can bear that, and then also have enough self-restraint so that we're not suffering, causing others to suffer when we're having a bad day. Put simply in 2 or 3 sentences. Okay, next is the best seat in the house, to try to be all right with who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing right here, right now, right who, as I love to say. Then comes a 4-fer, or maybe it's a 3-fer. The restless man. The path of wildness. It's a 4-fer. The great life adventure, and then the risk of avoiding risk. Taken together, these suggest that life's going to be, or that some of us are going to be, maybe all of us to a greater or lesser degree, are going to be restless for something new in life, particularly. Excuse me. This dawn's young for some people in their teens and 20s. And if you go for it, then you're stepping on the path of wildness, which is a way forward and through into new life. And then when you have that experience, that's a great life adventure. And it's good to pepper your life with those if you feel drawn to those, especially to have one really big one in your late 20s to early 30s. Then you can settle down into the rest of life, having your great life adventure in your back pocket. It'll pay dividends all your life. And you can have as many as you want thereafter. But if you're so inclined, find a partner who shares that interest, or at least understands it and accepts it, like my wife does. She doesn't share the interest in adventure, but she understands that that's important to me. And she's quite fine with me going out and having adventures, which I do typically every other Sunday, although I don't do it lately. I just don't feel the need anymore. Pretty much just, I've done it. Had my fill. Now I do this. Okay, now the next is sin and damnation. There are 8 sins in my worldview related to believing or being untrue, believing things that are untrue or being untrue, or being a rumor-mongering gossip. These are falsity, credulity, faith, superstition, dogma, authority, rumor, and gossip. Don't do those things. They result in damnation now. Complete oblivion is the next principle. After death, there's nothing to follow. Since we have no soul, there's nowhere to go, and there's no God, no one to look after us. So when we're dead, we won't see our loved ones again. We won't have a chance to make up any, if we parted on bad terms with anybody, and there won't be any final justice. So we better work on all those things while we have the chance. Why not today? The bullseye aim, shooting for the mark, but usually missing. We try, but it's pretty rare that we actually get things square on. Uphill climb. Life is a steady upward climb. Hard, every day is hard, but I want to finish the day today higher up the mountain of experience in life than yesterday. Arena and utility. Life is this arena for the development of objectives and principles that we can then use to live a better life. You've got to have have those principles ever at the ready. Practicing them every day, like I'm doing now, helps to make that possible. Nothing is enough. Nothing is enough. It's a strange, almost Zen-like suggestion towards less, which has always served me well. And then finally, the principle of fun, a reminder to have a good time. Why not have fun today? Why not now, even at work? And then remember to have fun tomorrow and plan for it. Plan for it. That's one thing I need to work on. Plan my fun better. And then also remember the fun that we had yesterday. I got through it. And the battery's still going. Let me finish with today's plan. I'll finish this. Dogs aren't even enjoying me. They're both still in their beds. It's not even that cold. The dogs will come. I'll upload this. I'll feed the dogs, walk the dogs. I'll do a lot of reading today. Plan to do some shopping today. It's Black Friday. Plan to do some shopping for gifts. Oh, I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. Just more clarity. Maybe another day at the beach would be nice, which I can do today, and I will. All right, that's it. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care.